welcome to AirJobBoss TV. Today we are going to go over the third quarter of 2022 state of U.S. airline hiring with yours truly, AirJobBoss. And I've gathered a collection of statistics, information, news, developments, and some advice on the current state of hiring and how you can better map out what airline you want to work for and how to achieve that job. Now, if you are a pilot and you are working toward a career as a professional pilot, it is a great time for you to be on this pursuit. Basically, in 2022, there was over 10,000 pilots hired so far as of September. It is likely in 2023 that this hiring is going to be just as robust. So let's get into some of the generalities. In general, over the next 20 years, it is estimated that 80,000 pilots within the United States workforce will be retiring, and those 80,000 pilots need to be replaced over those next 20 years. Airbus estimates that global air traffic will double over that same time period. Now, not all in the United States, because the United States is already a well built out aviation industry, but nevertheless, there are opportunities available all over the planet for aviators. Anyway, this goes along with the statistic of Boeing saying that there is going to be maybe over 600,000 new pilots required globally over the next 20 years. So even if you're just starting out in aviation, the forecast is very, very good to become a professional aviator. Now, please take pause, because any world event, trauma to the system can cause an immediate shutdown in pilot hiring and stagnation that can last for up to a decade, and I know that because I have experienced that. Now, United Airlines reports that over the next 10 years, they're going to have to replace half of their pilot staff, over 7,000 people. American Airlines, same thing. About half of American Airlines pilots will be retiring over the next 10 years, and they're going to need to replace that staff. So some of the news and developments that are helping the airlines encourage people to either become pilots or work for them are thus: flight training reimbursement. There are some airlines right now that will reimburse you for the training you have paid for. Now, this comes with a caveat. You must actually work for them for a certain amount of time, but flight training reimbursement is something that's relatively new and has not been done in many, many decades. Talk to the specific airline that's offering this, and through your network and searching, as I'm going to advise you, you can find what airlines offer flight training reimbursement. Also, a lot of airlines right now, to encourage pilots to come and work for them, they're offering incredible bonuses and incentive packages and elevated salaries. Sometimes salaries at regional airlines equal to or greater than, in some cases, the salaries at major airlines. So these bonuses sometimes are like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, what they call a sign-on bonus, meaning you get the money just for going to work there. Now, caveat, please investigate the specific program because they often change, but you also might get this paid out over years. Yeah, $40,000, for example, over year one, then $10,000 year one, $10,000 year two, and so on and so on. So these bonus programs change constantly, incentives change constantly, so please contact each airline that you're targeting for specific information, but they are doing this now. Many training centers now are establishing relationships, cadet mentoring, or pipeline programs to regional airlines. Some third-party flight schools, not affiliated with airlines, not affiliated with universities, but third-party flight schools, are actually having very close-knit relationships with airlines in which they are mentoring you, and then you get either preferential hiring, preferential interviewing, or a direct flow into these regional airlines. This is really something that's never been done before. It's a brand new type of style of training, and it's being offered now due to this serious need by the airlines. This has been in place a little bit longer, but universities that have bona fide flight programs, four-year degrees with flight programs, are now having pipelines into the airlines. that used to be like a mentorship with preferential hiring or preferential interview, but now it's going to be almost as if you are just going to step right into their regional carrier and work your way up right into their major airline. It is very close to doing so. Now there might be a couple of hurdles at present, an interview evaluation process along the way, but this is soon to be a very, very easy flow all the way from entering college all the way to a major airline. So check out those major universities as these programs continue to improve and continue to change. An additional point in fact lately is that many airlines currently are dropping their 4-year degree requirement. It used to be that you would have to have a 4-year college degree as well as all your certificates and ratings and meet the minimum time qualification to become a member of a major airline. Major airlines now are dropping that requirement due to the needs. So this is something that's continuously in flux. This can change back and forth. Yes, they do require it. No, they don't. Now they do again based on their needs. So when you're planning your education and your airline future, understand that all of these requirements, incentives could ebb and flow over time. Many airlines themselves have a cadet program or a mentoring program, which you would enter these programs. They would assign you a mentor. You would attend a school that they approve. Also, sometimes they have financing available that's delayed all the way until the time you begin working for them. But these are the major airlines. Major airlines have these systems available to you. So you need to keep abreast of them, contact these major airlines for these cadet or mentoring programs, and apply to them if you fit the qualifications. But again, these things change very dramatically. Many airlines themselves are holding job fairs, the airline themselves at their headquarters or at their base of operation. This is something that used to be not done. You used to have to apply to an airline and not hear from them until you got the job interview. You would really rarely see them. Now, especially not doing their own job fairs at their own corporate headquarters, but many airlines are doing this. They also have opportunities where you can meet and greet their chief pilots or their department heads or human resources on a random basis if they're holding a very small event. Obviously, these are hard things to figure out. Your network is going to help you do that. So it's important that you build your network to have communication about these things. Okay, also, many airlines will attend third-party job fairs. There are companies in the United States, very reputable companies. I have used them, and I attend the job fairs of these third parties because many airlines are gathered there, and more airlines are attending these, and not what they're doing is they are selecting people on the spot to call in for an interview later, or even granting an interview on the spot. Now, you might have to have your application on file in their system, or simply bring a resume with you and they will interview you and sometimes offer you a job on the spot. This is virtually something that is normally not heard of, but given the industry, this is now becoming the norm. Okay, let's go over some of the statistics and numbers for 2022 so far. Over 10,000 pilots hired by major airlines in 2022. Over 1,200 hired in September. This hiring is going to continue probably into 2023, over 10,000 next year. United Airlines reports more than 200 in September. Delta Airlines, 200 in September. American Airlines, 150 in September. JetBlue, 100 in September. Plans for 2023. Alaska Airlines, 300 or more. American Airlines, 2,000 or more. I've heard as much as 2,400. 2,000, I think, is a reasonable pace. Also 2,000 for Delta. FedEx hiring between 500 and 700 next year. Frontier, 300 to 500 next year. Spirit Airlines, 500 next year. JetBlue between 500 and 700, but JetBlue and Spirit are coming together, so those numbers might be compacted together. United over 1,800 next year. UPS over 300 next year. So 2024 is going to be a very, very robust. They may exceed the 2022 numbers. We'll have to see. Now, here's what you need to do to be active and looking for that job according to AirJobBoss. Number one, you need to file your application with them immediately. Whether you meet the minimum qualifications of that airline or not, if you want to work for a particular airline, fill out that application if they allow it. Some will not allow it. Most will allow you to fill out the application and get it on file. Most airlines have way more applications on file than meet their minimum requirements. But as I've stated, their minimum requirements vary and could be reduced, and then you're already in their system and they can draw upon you immediately. Also, make sure you're updating this application as often as you can. There is really no rule of thumb as to how often you update your qualification, but I would do it at least 100 hours of flight time, or if you get a new rating or if you get a new job, any milestone updated, or any change in their system, any announcement that they may make, any announcement in their hiring process or otherwise, update that application. Number two, advice from AirJobBoss: attend job fairs. You're going to need to gain contacts with these human resources department, their hiring departments, also the other people that attend the job fairs. Introduce yourself to one or two people at these job fairs and get in communication with other applicants that are searching for work. Other applicants that are searching for work are like your agents looking for that information, just as you are looking for that information. And you can work together as a team and be much more efficient at finding new opportunities to get hired by the airlines you're looking to get hired by. Now, that is build your network. This is advice number three. Continue to build your network. Talk to people that are working in the airlines you want to work for, and talk to people that are hiring, and talk to people that are trying to get hired. Keep a log of that. I have a video on networking and importance of keeping a log, regular contact, and what information you need to know, and also that you need to provide some sort of service and some sort of benefit to your network partners. Okay, again, number four, regularly visit airlines' websites, particularly their career or job websites. Their requirements will change often. Also, their partnerships, their cadet programs, their mentoring programs, their bonuses, their incentives, what they're looking for, their minimum requirements. So you need to continuously visit their websites, their career websites, and their job websites to make sure you're informed of the latest information. Now, this is daunting if there's so many airlines. Virtually every airline in the United States is hiring right now. That is an incredible list of airlines. There's got to be over 60 airlines in the United States hiring right now, and many other charter or corporate organizations as well. So it's very important that you have a list that prioritizes what airlines you want to work for and what airlines would realistically hire you in the near future. In order to do that, you have to understand these airlines. So you have to create airline profiles, which I also have a video instructing you on, and prioritize which airline you want to work for based on your preferences, which I also have a video. So please subscribe to this channel. I know this video is quite long. There's a lot of content on this video, but other videos are also much shorter, more to the point, and we do go over a lot of questions and answers on the actual interviews. Okay. Finally, if you get an interview at an airline that you truly want to work for, I highly recommend you get professional interview preparation. That is what AirJobBoss is all about. Mostly through this free web channel on YouTube and other media platforms, I provide free content to help you getting hired, whether it is planning to get hired, planning what airline you want to work for, actually achieving the interview, and questions and answers associated with that interview process. But I have heard from many human resources departments that they can tell whether a person is properly prepared or not, and not everybody gets the job. At present, probably 80% of applicants who get called for an interview get the job. That is very good news. The bad news is that 20% do not, And it is likely in the future, as hiring becomes more scarce, your ability to get hired will require a greater deal of qualification and skill in the interview process. So you can click the link below, airjobboss.com, or you can email me at info@airjobboss.com at any time with any question. I'd be happy to answer it. You could also comment below, but I appreciate if you subscribe, like, or share this video. That is the conclusion of the third quarter 2022 state of the U.S. airline hiring industry, and we'll be back next quarter. Until then, we'll look forward to seeing you right here again on AirJobBoss TV.